Let's go to Amena Bakr, head of Middle East Energy and OPEC-plus research at KPLER. Amena, your thoughts at the early soundings for where OPEC goes next? It seems there's still some sort of tensions in the group with Kazakhstan not coming on board with their disciplined or committed to output quotas.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, it was always expected that Kazakhstan would have the most challenging times meeting these cuts and the compensation cuts, etc. From the three countries that have been missing their quotas, Kazakhstan is the second worst one after Iraq in terms of volumes. The issue is that Kazakhstan didn't really manage to find an agreement with all the foreign operators they have on the ground to cut their production. So they're having difficulty there. And we all saw the report yesterday with the energy minister being quoted by Reuters saying that they will prioritize national interests over OPEC quotas, which caused a bit of a chaotic situation in the markets. And then there was a statement released saying that they're still committed to trying to cut and still committed to being part of the group. And they see value in OPEC plus managing the market and stabilizing the market. But I think their compliance is still going to continue to struggle. Let's see what they manage to achieve over the coming months. And looking into policy, Sean, I think the option of speeding up, keeping up with the same rate, or just adding an increment of 130, both those options are on the table. I don't see the group pausing or cutting at the moment, although they have surprised us with their decisions. But I do expect June to just continue the increments. It's still just unclear if it's going to be at a sped up rate or at the original rate where they said it was roughly 130,000 barrels.
I mean, just looking at that question, I mean, when you think about the reasons behind this, yes, you've been a very unexpected acceleration in the increases that are coming now by OPEC plus, but even to increase at all, which had been postponed a number of times over the last year, choosing a moment when the global GDP growth forecasts are being downgraded, just on the fundamentals of their stated goal over many years, balance the market, so to speak. Other than this fairly public review that a lot of commentators and media are focused on, i.e., bringing the countries that have not been committing to their quotas, bringing them back into line, is kind of the generally accepted narrative, as that's why OPEC Plus has made this decision to increase at this time. Are there other reasons? Are there other things in the thinking other than let's slap everybody because there's two or three laggards? What are the other reasons with OPEC Plus's thinking, do you think, about increasing supply, accelerating the increase in supply while global economic growth is being downgraded?
No, I see that. I mean, they're doing it at a time or in a window where you have the summer demand quite high in most of these countries. So the actual exports that are supplied to market, which really matters at the end of the day, is going to be kind of muted by the fact that you have a high domestic consumption of the barrels produced. So that's one side of it. And the other side of it, of course, it's a time for them to be regaining some of this market share. Some of the members have been complaining that other states that have not been complying to their quotas have been taking a larger market share in growing markets such as Asia. So it's time, it's restoring a sense of balance and fairness among members and making sure that they regain their market share. You can think, I mean, there's a lot of speculation. You might think, there is a political angle or a geopolitical angle to this, keeping prices low so they could hurt some members at a time where you have the US perhaps negotiating, and this would help strengthen the relationship. But I really don't. I undermine this speculation. I don't think that's the main driver here. The main driver is around compliance and making sure that once you have a compliant group, Sean, and you want to impose a pause or a cut, the message becomes more valid. The market will believe you. So they know that all members will fall in line. So getting compliance in order, getting the house in order is the main reason here.
Amena, you mentioned it in your earlier comments, and I just wanted to sort of get behind it. That a bit was that actually Iraq is a bigger violator than Kazakhstan. Where does that stand? How does that fit into this and into the solution as Iraq now looks at reopening its pipeline to Turkey and as we go into a supposedly May 5th meeting for OPEC plus, where does Iraq stand in all of this?
Sure. No, on the pipeline, Sean, I mean, they've been wanting to open that for a really long time. We keep seeing that, it's coming online, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. So that's kind of in pending. I wouldn't be worried about that. But we have been seeing more effort from the Iraqi side to slash exports. So that's promising, and there's a lot more behind the leadership in Iraq, the ministry, and so on, and making sure that production is reduced and exports are slashed, and we are seeing that in the data. So Iraq is doing better. Russia as well. I mean, they have commitment. The real issue is Kazakhstan. I mean, if you don't have a disruption again from the CPC pipeline by Russia, we see it very difficult for them to comply to the quotas that they were given. And yeah, they're just they're going to continue to struggle with that. The issue of I mean, you kind of hinted at it, but of having everybody increase, that would maybe require an adjustment of quotas like the UAE had. The UAE got an adjustment. So perhaps maybe some kind of adjustment would help that. Honestly, I don't see Kazakhstan walking out of the group. The statements coming in that kind of corrected what was said initially, doesn't indicate to me that they are going to be walking out of the group. And there's a lot of pressure on Kazakhstan from Russia. So Russia has a big say in Kazakhstan remaining as part of the OPEC Plus alliance. So I don't see them walking out. And maybe down the line, if there is some general adjustments to quotas, to baselines, that would help the compliance issue to some extent.